70% of people who start an online course to learn a new skill never finish it. Of those who finish, most never earn a single dollar from what they learned. That is not a motivation problem. That is a selection problem. The skill they chose required 18 months of part-time study before anyone would pay them for it, and their financial situation gave them 6. The number everyone optimizes for when picking a skill is the income ceiling. How much a senior developer makes, how much a top designer charges per project. That number is irrelevant if you cannot survive the path to reach it. The variable that actually determines whether a skill pays you is time to first dollar, under realistic conditions, not ideal ones. By the end of this, you will have a 3-question filter that tells you exactly which skill fits your situation and which one will cost you a year of your life and nothing else. Step 1. Understand the difference between ceiling and conversion. The income ceiling is the maximum a skill can earn you at full mastery. Conversion is how long it takes that skill to produce its first payment. These are two completely different measurements, and almost every guide you will find only discusses one of them. Here's why that is a structural problem, not just a mindset one. A high-ceiling skill with an 18-month conversion path requires you to study part-time for a year and a half before a single dollar comes back. During those 18 months, you're paying for courses, paying for tools, and paying your rent with zero return from the skill you are building. Most people cannot sustain that. Not because they lack discipline, because the arithmetic does not work. If your financial runway, the number of months you can sustain effort without a return, is shorter than the conversion path of the skill you chose, that skill does not fit your situation. It does not matter how high the ceiling is, the math ends the conversation before you get there. Step 2. Look at the long path skills honestly. Software development, machine learning, data analysis, UI and UX design. These are real skills that pay real money. They work for people with a longer runway. Software development, learned part-time from zero, realistically takes 9 to 15 months before a first paid project. That is not a first salary. That is a first freelance project, and to get there, you need a portfolio of 3 or 4 real applications that a client or employer can actually inspect. Machine learning runs longer. 18 months is a reasonable floor because the entry-level bar requires demonstrated projects on real datasets, not completed certificates. Data analysis sits at 8 to 12 months if you can show dashboards built on public data with real insight behind them. UI and UX design runs 9 to 14 months because clients want 3 to 5 case studies showing your full process, not just final screens. None of these timelines are invented to discourage you. They are what the average part-time learner actually experiences. If your runway is longer than those numbers, these are legitimate paths. If your runway is shorter, you need a different first move. Step 3. Look at the short path skills without dismissing them. Copywriting, writing words designed to sell, can produce a first paid project in 2 to 4 months. Businesses need sales pages, email sequences, and product descriptions constantly, and a focused learner can charge for the work inside a quarter. Bookkeeping, recording, and categorizing a business's transactions converts in 3 to 5 months. And small businesses pay monthly retainers once they trust you. Spreadsheet automation, building systems that eliminate repetitive manual work, can produce a first paid project in 2 to 3 months because the gap between what most business owners know and what is actually possible is enormous. Short-form video editing converts in 3 to 4 months. No-code consulting, helping businesses build software using visual tools instead of writing code, converts in 3 to 5 months, with retainer work available almost immediately after the first project. These skills get dismissed as lower ceiling. That argument is real. A senior copywriter earns less than a senior software engineer at peak. But the person collecting $300 from their first copywriting project in month 4 is financially ahead of the person still studying software development in month 12. That gap is real money that either reduces financial pressure or gets invested somewhere else while the longer path continues. If this is already changing which skill you would pick, the subscribe button is right there. This is what we work through every week. Here's the variable almost nobody accounts for. Adjacency. Some skills are standalone. They do one thing, they earn one way, and they plateau at a defined ceiling. Other skills open naturally into adjacent income streams, and those are the ones that compound over time. Copywriting does not stay copywriting. It extends into content strategy, brand consulting, and course creation. Each of those paths pays more than raw copywriting, and they are all reachable from the same starting point. Video editing extends into social media management and full YouTube channel management, where you stop charging per video and start charging a monthly retainer. Bookkeeping extends into financial consulting and fractional finance work for growing businesses. Each adjacency stacks on the last one. Now run the math. A standalone skill earns you $40,000 in year 1 and the same in year 3, because the ceiling is fixed and you have reached it. A compounding skill earns you $25,000 in year 1, less minus, but opens 2 adjacencies by year 2. And by year 3, you're earning $80,000 or more because the income streams multiplied. The 1-year figure favored the standalone skill. The 3-year figure is not close. This is why the ceiling number quietly misleads. It measures one path at full mastery. It cannot see the branches, so here's how you actually decide. 3 questions. Write the answers down before you choose anything. Question 1. What is the realistic timeline to first payment for someone in my situation, not the ideal student with 40 free hours a week, the average one working evenings and weekends around a full-time job? Question 2. Can I sustain that learning period financially and psychologically, with no income signal telling me it is working? Question 3. Does this skill open adjacent paths, or does it plateau at a fixed ceiling? Run one real skill through it. Take bookkeeping. Timeline to first payment, part-time from 0, 3 to 5 months. Can you sustain that without income? For most people holding a job, yes. A few months is manageable. Does it have adjacencies? Yes. Financial consulting, payroll management, fractional CFO work for small businesses. 3 answers. 1 clear output, short runway, fast conversion, compounding path. Now run the same questions on UI and UX design. Timeline. 9 to 14 months part-time, with a portfolio of 5 case studies before anyone pays you. Can you sustain that? Only if your runway covers at least a year. Adjacencies? Yes. Product design, design systems consulting, creative direction. Strong branches, but they are gated behind a longer path. If your runway is 12 months or more and you can handle the delay, the output is still green. If your runway is 6 months, the output is a hard stop, not because the skill is wrong, but because the math does not clear. Same 3 questions. Completely different outputs. Your financial situation is not a character flaw. It is a variable. The skill you choose has to fit that variable, or the math will end it before the skill ever pays you. Most people will not do this analysis. They will find the salary chart, see the highest number, and start a course this week. The few who write down their runway first, calculate realistic conversion timelines, and check for adjacencies before they commit will almost certainly pick a different skill than the one they walked in wanting. Whether those 2 groups end up in the same place 3 years from now is the only data point that actually settles this. You already know which group most people join.